Hi everyone, I'm Falk and welcome to the GP Days track briefing. Today we're going to look at Bilster Berg, Germany's most beautiful roller coaster. It's a mega track, but there are some organizational procedures which are a bit special, so please pay attention so we're all going to have a good day. See you soon and have fun. So one of the most important things to know before you arrive is that Bilster Berg runs a strict entry control. And this means two things for you. First of all, please make sure that we know all the names of the people that come with you to the track day. And second of all, please make sure that everyone who wants to enter the circuit, be it the paddock, be it the restaurant, be it anywhere, needs to have signed a liability waiver beforehand. You will find the liability waiver in the e-briefing room. It can be signed online, so it's pretty simple. But as I said before, we need a complete participant list because everyone who is not on that list might be sent home in the end. So make sure that we know the names at least 48 hours before the track day, and then we'll be all good. If you have looked at Bilster Berg before the track day, you have probably noticed that they have a very strict noise limit. That's also why every car that wants to enter the circuit needs to be fitted with a transponder first. The transponder is used to monitor your position on track and identify the cars which are potentially breaching the noise limit. We will hand you the transponder and check-in along with all the other things you need to fit it to your car, be it zip ties, a mount and everything else you need. And if you need assistance, please let us know and we will give you a helping hand. One thing you need to remember is that you are responsible for the transponder. So if you lose it or damage it, you are the one responsible for replacing it. And also I would like to remind you about bringing your driver's license or ID card to check-in, because we will use that as a deposit to make sure that you return us the transponder at the end of the day. Because if you don't return us the transponder at the end of the day, we'll get into big trouble with Bilster Berg. Though I expect most of you know that we are running an open pit lane track day, I want to make sure that everyone understands what it truly means. And first and foremost, it means you can take it easy. You have more track time that you can possibly use at Bilster Berg. That's around 7 hours. So take your time in the early morning, get to know the track, get to know the circuit, get to know the people around you, get a feel for the track, and in general, just don't take any risks because it's not worth it. You have so much time. Even if you get stuck behind a slower car, either take a break or take a trip through the pit lane to get some distance between you and the slower participants. There's absolutely no rush and absolutely no need to pull any crazy maneuvers. Also, we will have an eye on the track, so it's not going to get too full. It never happened in the past, but if there are more than 30 cars on track, we will hold you in the pit lane just to let you know so you're not surprised. We already talked about the flag signals in the first part of our e-briefing. I quickly want to touch on it again because at Bilster Berg it's a bit different. While the flag signals mean exactly the same, we don't have actual humans at the side of the track, but we are using an electronic marshalling system, which means there are several LED displays around the circuit which will warn you in case there's an incident in front of you. There's also another LED display on the back straight. I will show you the location later in the e-briefing where exactly it is on the circuit, but this will give you additional information. As you know, we will hand you your numbers at the check-in, which you have to stick on your car. Remember that number, because on this LED display there might be some signals that concern you. For example, if it shows you a number plus the code TEC, that means technical defect, usually that's shown to you when your car is too loud. Please come to the pit lane immediately, we're going to have a chat. If you see your number plus BLA, which means black flag, that's also some issue occurred on track we need to talk about, so please just come to the pit lane immediately and have a chat to us. If you see the code FIN, which means finish, it's the end of the session. That happens twice during the day, once before the lunch break and once at the actual end of the track day in the afternoon. Another point I have to mention, because to my knowledge it's pretty unique to Bilster Berg, are these plastic cones you see here on the picture. One tip, just don't hit them. It's not because they're going to utterly destroy your car, but because they're extremely expensive. And the entire track is monitored by a CCTV system, so Bilster Berg will find out who hit it, and they're pretty quick on writing an invoice for it. And I can tell you, if we hit one and destroy it completely, including the mounting, it's going to be around 200-250 euros. Should just stay well clear of them, don't hit them. If you hit them, just come to us straight away, tell us, because they will find out anyways, and the more work they have to put into it to find out who did it, the more expensive it's going to get. So get to us straight away and we will find a solution. That counts for all the damages you cause to the track. Well, most of the times the track management will notice anyways, but if something happens, please just let us know and we will find a solution. So now we're looking at the track from a bird's eye perspective. I just quickly want to let you know how to get there. In the end, it's pretty easy. You got the address here, Bilster 1 in Bad Rieburg. Just hit it up in your navigation and follow the road. At one point you will see a little pathway going up into the forest. There are also some Bilster Berg flags in front of it. That's the entrance. You just follow the road until you get to the entry control, which is marked with number 2 here. If you come in the very early morning, probably one of our team members is going to be there and already hand you your grid number, your starting number. If not, just tell them your name. If you're on the list, which we talked about, you should be on the list. They will let you through. You just follow the red line here until you reach the paddock. And in the GP days box, which you see here marked with number 3, you will find our team. You will get your transponder. You will get your numbers. You will get all the documents and information you need. And also we have a little bar there for you with coffee, drinks, little snacks, which you can use free of charge throughout the whole day. Now we're going to have a closer look in the paddock. Well, maybe first and foremost, just be careful not to go too fast in the paddock. The speed limit is a max of 20 kilometers an hour. That's just for all of our safety. There are always people running around, maybe with the helmets on their head, not having the best visibility. So just really take it slow in the paddock. It's for all of our safety. We're going to have an eye on it because we have experienced some people trying to show off in the paddock and putting some crazy stunts. So just don't do it, because in the end it just means that your day is going to end much earlier than it should be. Looking at the paddock, we just see some of the most important spots. I'd suggest we just start in the order of the numbers here. Petrol and air. 1, that's the petrol station. It's quite comfortable at Bilster Berg because there's a petrol station right in the paddock. You can pay there with a credit card. Unfortunately, no cash, so just make sure you have an appropriate card. There's also a compressor which you can use to adjust your tire pressure throughout the day. So there are all the amenities you need for a good track day. Number 2, pit lane entry. That's where the petrol station is. So you go through the gate, turn right, go down the pit lane, and you will reach the end of the pit lane, and where you can also then enter the circuit. Number 3, pit lane exit. That's at the far end of the pit lane, basically where the GP days box is. You just turn right to access the paddock, and yeah, you're back in your resting spot basically. I just want to remind you also, because during an open pit lane track day, the pit lane is used pretty frequently. In the pit lane, there's a maximum of 50 kilometers an hour. Please also stick to that speed limit. And also, just remember that there are basically 2 lanes. On the left side, there's the fast lane. There's absolutely no stopping. That's for the car exiting and entering the circuit, as well as a slow lane. That's where you can stop to adjust your tire pressure, to check your car, and maybe let your passenger get out. But what I also want to remind you of is, please, if you want to change your passenger or you have another driver who are you sharing the car with, do that in the paddock and don't do this in the pit lane, so we have as little foot traffic as possible and minimize the risk of potential accidents. So let's now talk about what's probably the most important point for you: how you get on and off the circuit. Let's start at how you get on the circuit, which is indicated here with number 1, pit exit. Get into the pit lane, which I already told you, the entrance to the pit lane it's where the petrol station is. You turn right and follow the pit lane until the very end. You will then reach at one point pit exit. And at pit exit, it's very important that you stick to the very far right of the circuit and you don't cross the white line that separates pit exit from the live track. Because if you cross the white line too early, you will get into the way of people who are already on the circuit, and that can create very dangerous situations. If you get until the end of the white line, you will be able to safely merge the circuit without disturbing anyone who is already there on their fast laps. The same principle goes for exiting the circuit, which is indicated here with number 2, pit entry. Before pit entry, you have a long left-hander. So stick to the very right of the circuit, indicate right to let people know that you're leaving the circuit, and don't make any last minute movements where you go on the racing line and then suddenly when you see pit exit you go, oh no, I need to go right, you cross the racing line, you irritate other people, creating potentially dangerous situations. It's all about making people aware that you're leaving the circuit as early as possible, and for that you should use your indicators. Here on the map you can also see the sound meters indicated with number 3. This is just for your information. If you have a very loud car, consider maybe lifting off there so you don't trigger them, but usually that's not a problem. Indicated with number 4, you can see the LED display I talked about before. That can give you additional information like when the end of the session arrived, or when there's some other issue on track, like you getting a black flag or some other signal. That's just for your information. Some final points to consider, which basically always come up. First of all, where do I put the grid numbers? Well, at Bilster Berg it's a bit different compared to other circuits. Here you put it on the side of your car, either on your door, and if you don't wanna stick the number directly onto your paint, you can put it on the rear side windows. Don't put it on the actual side windows. Well, I mean, I've seen it before. It's not a very smart idea because you should be able to look out of them. So do it like indicated here on the BMW. Where can I find the team? Well, I also mentioned that before, but just to make sure you know, we are always located in box C14, which you can see here. If there's a change and we have a different box, we will let you know, but that's usually where you can find us, and our team members are easily identifiable. They're wearing a jumper like I do at the moment with our logo on the back, and if you have any questions, just reach out. Well, that's it with a track briefing for Bilster Berg. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's been helpful. If you have any questions, as always, just shoot us a message, support@gp-days.com. We're always there for you and happy to answer any questions you have. Really looking forward to see you. It's going to be a mega day. Bye bye.